Welcome to Mental Health Mondays. This one's going to be pretty brief because I've caught some kind of weird flu virus thing from my son at the moment. I am pretty much stuffed to the rafters on Beecham's cold and flu and Nurofen, so I'm actually feeling mildly human. Not much, but a little bit more than I was. And I thought I'd talk today about one of the first indicators of recovery. We have Kitty. One of the first indicators of recovery for me was the difference between not wanting to go out and wanting to go out. When you are completely in your disorders, for me anyway, and I know for quite a lot of people, you just don't want to go out. You don't want to go out anywhere, especially not if you've got anxiety of any kind, social anxiety, agoraphobia, anything like that, generalised anxiety disorder. You just don't want to go out. There's a lot out there that scares you, a lot of situations that you're uncertain about encountering, and you'd really rather stay in where it's safe or just go to your safe places and not deviate from those. When you start entering into recovery, you get this weird little idea that pops up in your head. Why don't I go somewhere else? Why don't I go somewhere new? These little voices that are sort of like, they're kind of like recalcitrant toddlers in your head. I don't want to go to the shop again. We always go to the shop. For me, it's kind of like my daughter, because my daughter, my youngest, she is definitely not of the homebody variety. My boys very much are, but my daughter is not. She likes going out a lot, and she finds it very, very difficult to be trapped in the house with a mum who doesn't like to go out a lot of places. And she had a lot of fun last year because I was feeling a lot more exploratory. I wanted to find different places to go and do different stuff, and she was really benefiting from that. And unfortunately for her, I've had a little bit of a slide back this year, and I think one of the most important things for me to do now to try and get back into feeling more willing to go out, because I am recovering and I don't want to slide backwards too far, because there is always the fear that you will slide back out of recovery and no longer be recovering. So I would like to push myself to go out to different places. I am starting to get little niggles where I want to go out to places, and I'll think to myself, oh, I'd like to go out somewhere this week, maybe I'll go out Thursday, and then something always gets in the way, and then I'm like, oh well, there's not time to go out now, blah blah blah, and it's ridiculous. It's all excuses and it's nonsense, but you get comfortable with being in. And I still very much, although they haven't been as loud since I stopped driving my son into town on Thursdays, the voices that you have like little internal debates with yourself about stuff, for people who have a social life, whether you want to go out tonight with your friends or whether you want to stay in and order pizza and just watch TV all evening and all that kind of stuff. You have these internal debates with yourself. And my internal debates are all about my head saying, I want to go out somewhere, and the rest of me saying, no, that's not nice, we won't do that. And how the swing has been going more toward the rest of me saying, oh yeah, maybe let's go out, and then it sort of swung back a little bit more toward, ooh, I'm not sure about going out today. We'll be fine indoors, and the head is going, no, it's not fine indoors, and the rest of me is like, yeah, it is, it's fine, we like indoors, we'll stay indoors. And I'm really hoping to get back out of that again. I think it's not been helping that the weather's been so crap, because I get cold really, really quickly, and it makes me miserable and grumpy. So yeah, going out in winter is not going to be a big thing for me anyway. As the summer months roll on, I'm hoping to re-find my enthusiasm for going to places that I've not been to before and driving a little bit longer and further afield. It's a big deal for me, driving to places I've never been to. There's a lot that goes into the anxiety around that. But anyone who has anxiety about driving to places they've never been to, GPS that constantly reevaluates where you're going and can find you a new route if the one that you're using is suddenly blocked by, roadworks or whatever, is a lifesaver. In the time before GPS, I would have turned around and gone home. But yeah, I'm hoping that the internal and external voices will align up more toward the same direction again. We're like diplomacies of human beings, make pacts with ourselves not to do this and not to do that, and to do more of this and to do more of that. So I think I'm not the only one that's like that. But definitely if you're recovering from a mental illness, then there's an awful lot more that goes into those internal debates. There's an awful lot more sort of compromise that has to be made. And yeah. I've been struggling with it a bit of late. I've been struggling with making the compromises and being a little bit more open to going out. So I'm hoping to change that and be a little bit braver, because you certainly do feel better when you're in a state of recovery. It's important to make the distinction. When you are in a state of recovery and part of you is emerging, as it were, from the sort of cage of the illnesses, you do feel better when you go out to different places. You feel accomplished and you feel brave and you feel like, you know, I can do more of this. The more you do of it, the more you feel like you can do it. It's a kind of immunotherapy. Conversely, if you are still very, very poorly and other people are trying to force you to go out, or you're feeling like you should be going out, let's do those. There is no such word as should when you are ill. If you are mentally ill and your mind and body are at one on the fact that you don't want to go out, unless it is vital that you go out for like a doctor's appointment or to get food or anything like that, then you don't need to go out. If it's going to cause you more harm than good, stay in. Look after yourself first and foremost. That would be my advice for this part of recovery. By the way, thank you so many people for subscribing. I didn't expect to get any subscribers at all. I didn't expect for anything I was saying to, mean anything to anyone but me, because I didn't know how many people would jive with my experience. It's so lovely that these videos are actually reaching people. So thank you so much for watching, and I really hope the recovery videos help people and that you can find something in them that will maybe help you on your recovery journey, or that will help you when you finally start entering recovery. Do not beat yourself up for not recovering as quickly as you think you should, okay? These are always long journeys. These struggles with mental illness, they are long journeys, and I am making these videos in the hopes that people will understand that there is nothing wrong with being mentally ill. It's not something that you choose. Okay, and it's not even something that chooses you. Stuff happens in your life, or stuff happens in your head, and you end up having to cope with this. And that doesn't make you subnormal or abnormal. It doesn't make you not a human being. It makes you very, very human indeed. And the more support that we can garner by speaking out and speaking honestly and saying, hey, you might go through this, so how about you take my pain seriously? I don't want people to learn by suffering. I really don't want them to. I want everyone to support one another and be kind to one another. Compassion is free, and I think we do so much better as human beings when we freely give of our compassion. And that maybe sounds a bit hippie, but I don't care, and I'm going to leave it there. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in 2 weeks' time to talk more about aspects of recovery.